Amina represents AZUL on the board of the International Land Coalition and is a member of the Indigenous Determinants of Health Alliance. Amina.
Thank you, Sebi. Excellence, honorable assistance,
Excellencies, honorable attendees, sisters and brothers, thank you for coming together in this vital space. And thank you to all of those who have made it possible for us to come together here. I greet you in the spirit of the land, of life, and of continuity. For us Indigenous people, this session is not just about food, because we have a global vision. This session for us is about systems, lifestyles, governance, know-hows, ways of being and transmission among generations for the sustainability of the entire world. Indigenous people protect 80% of the remaining biodiversity in the planet. And this is not just by chance, because we have practices that respect the land and natural resources for the well-being of a healthy environment. Our food systems are resilient, diversified, and rooted in reciprocal relationships between people, seasons, the places, languages, and ceremonies. Since the UN Food Systems Summit that took place in 2021, and as was the case during the Food System Summit in Rome and the recent dialogues that took place in June, we have worked towards a vision so that as Indigenous people are not mere stakeholders, but we're right holders. And today we're calling for an effective implementation of these rights, not for hypothetical intentions. We're calling for investments in human rights, and we're calling for genuine consultations. Our systems are dynamic, living, and have been developed over centuries of practice. And these are proposals for concrete models for agroecology, for climate resilience, and for intergeneration well-being. And today, and this in all levels, we hope for restitution of land and of natural resources in order to proceed towards ecosystem restoration and for the resurgence of harvests and for economy reconstructions that is fair and humanly acceptable, that have been designed by the leaders of Indigenous peoples, the youth, the women, and the safekeepers of knowledge. We believe, or rather we hear about very powerful examples coming from the Amazon, from the Sahel, from the Andes, systems that work to the service of the people. These are not just abstract concepts, but rather practices that work towards collective and responsible governance. This session is a call for ethical partnerships, sincere partnerships as well, partnerships that are respectful of our autonomy, for systems that work towards free and informed consent. This is the guide for us that we're using for a structural change that is culturally sound and a holistic well-being that will help us move towards a transition that is fair, towards a food system that will also be forward-looking. We invite all of the coalitions, all of the institutions and donors and stakeholders to recognize, respect, and protect the values, the approaches, and the knowledge of Indigenous people to help the transition of food systems. And we call upon you towards the governance of systems that are currently led by Indigenous people. There are three objectives that bring us together today: share our methodologies, strengthen partnerships, and trigger funding. We are working towards policies that will honor the autonomy and the wisdom of Indigenous people, while accepting that the future of the food system doesn't need to be reinvented or rethought, but rather recognized, protected, and shared. We need to go beyond just rhetoric, and we need to build a future that is based on culture, on land, on...
Recording in progress.
Because the transformation of food systems will not take place without us. We were never the problem, and the future that we're looking for with us, not for us, because we are the solution and the response that is required. Thank you very much for your participation, and we hope that this session will be a turning point and will help us move towards a real shared future. Thank you very much.